Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. My name's Matt Drake. This is episode 158. And I'm joined this evening, as ever, by my guest host, Morgan Harfell. Good evening, Morgan.
Kia ora, Matt. How are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, I was just busy whilst we were on the old countdown there, so I haven't had a chance to check in with the chat. But there's plenty of people.
There's plenty going on in the chat.
Plenty of people going in. Good evening, everybody. What have we got?
I was just about to start a conversation about popcorn with Brett in the chat. Brett, any spare popcorn? Any?
Well, that would be lovely. That would be lovely. What else have we got? Oh, Levi's Ace. Did you see that? It's I don't know if you've caught up on. You have. Excellent. Did we all see it?
Well, I got to be honest. I seen the early clip of it. I didn't see. It was a bit of a tease. I think it may have even been on the RPM page possibly, and it just cut off right before it happened. So that's as far as I've seen. I basically walked in my front door, sat down here, and we're on the show.
Yeah.
So I think it only just got released today. Is that right?
Yeah. The GK Pro coverage came out today. Actually, yeah, I watched a little bit at lunchtime, so yeah, it was good. That was good, and yeah, I have to say it's a bit of a he's hell of a lucky ace, eh? I mean, all aces are lucky, right? But like that is something else.
We might have to bring it up on the screen so we can all watch it because I haven't seen it go in the chains. I've seen the start of the flight and then the video cut off.
Okay, one moment. Let me grab it and see if we can find it. One moment, caller. And we'll be with you.
Brett saying, "Oh, come around. Any spare popcorn? Come around, man. Might have to hit you up, bro. Pringles. I'd love some Pringles. Jimmy's pies. Would love some Jimmy's pies. You've got an export gold. What have I got? I've got a cheeky green Pals tonight, unopened, soon to be opened. How is everyone in the chat tonight? Obviously, there's a lot of you. Let us know how you're doing."
Morgan, we've got a great show today. We're going to be going through a bit of a preview of Disctopia, which is coming out, which is coming this weekend. And we've got in our green room, we've got Marc Clement joining us tonight, who is the tournament director of Disctopia, and he's going to be talking to us all about Henley Lake, the Masterton course, a bit of a history of all of that kind of. Wide Apper disc golf, and also talking to us a little bit about the Disctopia tournament that's happening this weekend as well. And for those people who, the keen-eyed among you, and we put it in the thumbnail, there's a giveaway tonight as well. So, yeah. Now, we're going to try something out that's a little bit new today. So I'm not sure if this is going to work. If it doesn't, we'll fall back to our Wheel of Names kind of regular thing. Unfortunately, I've not been able to test it outside of
You know, Matt, the chat's going. The sound is perfect tonight. So you know what? When we've got things just lined up, we're going to try some new stuff.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, so what I need you to do, if you want to go into the, let me just see if this is going to work. Actually, 1 second.
I've not met our guest tonight before the start of the show, and I was pretty excited just to say hello, get a couple of words in, and really excited to have a bit of a chat on the show with them tonight.
Let's just see if this is going to work. Okay, right. What you need to do if you want to enter the giveaway tonight is type in the word #Mahuta into the comments, because the prize tonight is one of these. Right, hang on. Tane Mahuta.
There we go.
From RPM, still in its box, brand new, but you need to comment with Mahuta, and we can see people are entering. Here we go. All of these people are entering. See, this is it working, Morgan. This is it, Morgan. Can you see it?
That's beautiful.
All of these people have entered, right? So you can see as they come in, and excellent. So all of these people type #Mahuta into the comments, and you'll get yourself into the draw. Don't worry, that's going to keep going along in the background. We'll come back to the
That looks great, Matt. I like this. I like this a lot.
We'll come back to it when we come back to the giveaway a bit later on, all right? And it means that I don't have to run the wheel of names constantly. That's still whirring away in the background, everybody. So there it is. People are still joining.
52 people in the chat tonight, so I'm assuming we're going to get 52 people signed up for this one.
Well, we shall see. I don't know how many. Can I see how many people are in the giveaway at the moment? I can't, but I'm sure there's a few people who
probably scrolling by a bit too fast.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, there's plenty of opportunity. We've got 58 people in the chat, so we should have more or less that many people entered, and we'll do the giveaway a little bit later on today. Right now, but first up, let's get into it with hot scores. Now, this is a slightly different hot scores, but it's going to be different going forward, right? Because last week we announced the top 20 disc golf courses by number of rounds played in 2023, sorry. And those top 20 courses are the 20 courses we're going to be featuring on our hot scores. Okay, so Morgan, if you want to take us through the South, and there's some new names, courses and players. So listen out. Here we go.
Yeah. Fantastic, guys. As Matt said, after last week's show, we came up with the top courses. Well, UDisc has come up with the top courses played around the country, and we're going to be starting off right down in the south at Queen's Park. Not one that's unfamiliar to us, but Queen's Park, we've got Joseph at a 47-10 under par, taking down the hot score for the week. Headed over to Chingford Park, and Nicholas McDermott with a 21-7 under par, taking down the hot score of this week at Chingford. Brockville's Tom McKay with an 8 under par is the hot score this week, and then headed up to my neck of the woods, and my guy, Team Generations, Jin Kato, taking down the Queenstown Guns with a -16. That is an absolute banging hot score right there, Jin. Lismore, and we've got Spooky Luke Godfrey with an 11 under par. Ashton Clark up in Christchurch takes down Jelly Park with a 17 under par. That's just incredible.
That is mental, isn't it?
Oh, it's mental. Sticking on with Christchurch, and we've got Warren Park, and Sam Cole takes that one down with a 12 under par this week. Smallbone Reserve, and we've got Logan with a 6 under par. Excuse me. Queen's Park Reserve, and we've got none other than At Nation with a 22, 5 under par. Saxton Field, and we've got Ruben Cossey with a 4 under par. And now my final one for the whole week in the south, and we've got Branford Park, and we've got Mr. Alex Batten with a 13 under par. I don't know if that's a great score at that course. I have not played there. We're going to say that's your hot score for the week at Branford. How are we looking in the north?
Okay, so we're going to head up north, and starting in Berrenport, in the hills of Wellington, is Brady Cush with a 7 under par at Berrenport. Across the water at Koi Koi, Alistair Dunn and Jason Chin both putting the work in with 1 under. Up to Hardcore Park, and Panny Carson Boone and Ben Morrison all tie with a 5 under par. I know Panny's not been playing long. 5 under par is a fantastic score at Hardcore Park. Linklater, Johnny Wake, of course it's him, 10 under par in the mighty Manawatu. And across to Maryland's, it's Andrew F., Jason Mallion and Jason Gray all tying with a 3 under par. Steve Lawson is joined by Dean on a +1 round Spa Park Black. David and Bannocks set the world alight at Henderson with a 7 under par. And Joel JC hits 5 under par at Woodhill. That's the 18 at Woodhill. And Rosedale is Chris Kingsnorth and Jordan Binney both hit 6 under par. So some new courses there for us. Couple in Auckland, couple in Nelson. Few have fallen by the wayside. If you type into the chat hashtag Mahuta, you will get yourself into the draw. Morgan, I don't know what you were trying to do.
Oh, not Atuham?
But that will not enter you. It has to be hashtag Mahuta. So Carl Larson, have another go and get yourself into the draw. Right. Now we're going to bring in our guest this evening. Who is running the Disctopia by Disconnection this weekend in Henley Lake in Masterton. And so, good evening to Marc Clement. Good evening, Marc.
Kia ora, how's it going?
Very good, very
Thanks.
good. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for having me on, Morgan. And
Oh, it's
Matt,
great to have
appreciate
you
it.
on. It was really nice to meet you before the show, and yeah, we're absolutely stoked to have you on this week.
Yeah. I was a little bit distracted actually. I was trying to get the details sorted for the actual tournament because registration closed at 8, so I was scrambling.
Oh wow!
So I wasn't my usual talkative self, but
And you've
yeah, you've
got
got full attention now.
you've got quite a few people entered for this weekend, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I only set it up exactly 2 months ago on a whim because I'm like, well, I saw in the calendar there was a gap in pretty much I would actually say the best time of year to play disc golf, March, and so just booked it in super quick. Didn't do too much advertising. Um, yeah, made sure that the sponsors were on board again from the last tournament that I ran in November, and there was only about 40 people, 30, 40 people, maybe two and a half weeks ago, and it's doubled now. So that it's more than what the Rapper Rumble, Disctopia Rapper Rumble. Yeah, they seem to be. It seems to be growing, which is quite good. Yeah, there's 84, 83 registered, I believe.
Oh wow! Wow.
80, yeah, you got 84 on your PDGA website right now that I'm just having a bit of a squiz through, seeing who all your players are.
Yeah, I mean
Fantastic.
we're going to get to we'll do our picks for this in a little bit later on, and there's some interesting battles that are going to occur this weekend, I suspect, made all the more interesting by the fact that it's this is brilliant. I love this. It's put a few people off, but I love it. 27 holes played 3 times in a day and a half.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's probably why a lot of people weren't signing on. I got to be honest. It's like, I'm not going to put myself through that. It's March, it's autumn time. I just want to sit back, relax, enjoy the last of the warm days.
So hang on, just one sec, guys. Run that by me. You say 27 holes in a day and a half. So is that 18 and then 9, or are we doing?
No,
No,
Morgan. It's 27 in the morning, 27 in the afternoon, and then you come back on Sunday morning to do 27 again.
It's about 7.5 Ks of throwing in a week.
Yeah, that's a good grind, guys. That's a good grind. I hope you guys have been getting your 5K runs in every morning.
Yeah, well, I have, but so I've been looking forward to this simply because the amount of disc golf that you get to play, and we've had this conversation, we've talked about in the past running Centurion and stuff, where you have big long days. Mark, why?
Well, actually, you can kind of blame Ryan Kitto for this because
Okay, that sounds easy to do.
Yeah, at the end of Rapper Rumble, he said, "Mate, this was a really good tournament. You'll see me again, but next time, 4 rounds." And I was thinking, what? You didn't get enough? And so it just sort of sat in my mind, and I realized, okay, well, I'll give them what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the interesting thing is that Masterton District Council, they had 9 baskets sitting in their town hall, RPM baskets sitting there years ago before I moved over to Masterton. And I actually used those baskets for the first pop-up tournament to see if the Henley Lake course was even playable, if there were any safety issues. And I also borrowed 9 baskets from Hayden at Disc Shop, and went from there. And then, very quickly, because it was so successful, we just modified the layout, got it in, and I thought that would be it. But there's so much more of the park. We weren't even touching the north and east area of the park where the lake is.
Yeah.
And in the back of my mind, I always knew that we had those extra baskets that the council was definitely willing to let me use at any time. So the infrastructure's there, and so expect to see this regularly. Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's the reason why.
It's also great from my perspective because selfishly it means that on Sunday I can leave at lunchtime, get back to Wellington for mid-afternoon, and still have a bit of a day. Have some time with the family, and it doesn't feel like the whole weekend has been gone to disc golf. It makes a huge difference for.
Which is quite a crazy thought with the amount of disc golf you are going to be playing.
Yeah.
I think that you will be done by lunchtime.
Yeah, exactly. So because Mark, you've been a bit of a driving force behind disc golf in Wairarapa, specifically Masterton and the Henley Lake course. Talk to us a little bit about the history there. How did it start? When did you first throw a disc at Henley Lake Park, and how talk us through how it got to perhaps up to the Rapper Rumble, maybe, which was in November last year.
Yeah. Okay. Let me think about this. I definitely have to thank everyone in the Wairarapa and in the Wellington region who have just been on board from the get-go. Because without them, we wouldn't be talking now. We'd still be sort of messing around with plans, I imagine, and there wouldn't be a course there. We've got so many people that have helped out, and I could name them, but I know some of them wouldn't want me to do that, and some of them would. So we'll just leave it at that for now. But the interesting thing is, I have a massive history with Ultimate Frisbee. Was a national rep a couple of times, been a coach for a lot of it, still am a national coach for Ultimate. And I was actually exposed to disc golf in Dunedin back in the day. And we used to throw Ultra Stars at the clock tower. Don't tell the Vice Chancellor that, but we'd throw it at the arms of the clock tower, and we'd make our own little disc golf courses around there. And we also played Chingford Park when it got installed. But I think the first disc golf tournament I played was the inaugural Faultline Fury back in 2003. I've got the disc, actually. I could probably show you. And I hated it so much because it was in the middle of winter. It was in August. The Saturday was fine. I remember having a card with Brett Carlisle, and he's like, "Oh, that's a rock. That's a great disc. Just throw it on a, what everyone calls an Anheuser. Just throw it on an outside in, and you'll be fine." And I just remember hitting every single tree, and I never touched a disc golf disc for another 12 years. I hated it that much. It's just like I remember going to Sean Lincoln, who's the guy putting in the Upper Hutt course at the moment. Using Brady's and Stan Morris's designs and just modifying it for use. And
Morgan, that's the Moonshine Park pop-up that we had the other day that got 90-odd people. Sean's the guy who organised it. Yeah, Sean Lincoln. He's a long-time Frisbee player, but he's come into disc golf now. And I remember just waking up on the Sunday. It was at his place in Isle Bay, and it was just this howling southerly. I'm like, no chance. I'm not going out there. So anyway, fast forward to moving to Masterton 3 and a bit years ago, and I was just playing at Harcourt, chatting with a bunch of the locals there, so like Chris and Andy, Chris Sinai and Andy Davey, and they were just saying there's stuff going on there. You need to talk to Brady about this because someone's put some money aside in their will. Nothing's being done. And they're like, okay. So they gave me a name of a guy, and once I'd settled in, I gave him a ring. Turns out it was one of the funeral directors in Masterton. So he thought I was ringing for a bereavement, but no, it was good news. And he took me down to the course, showed me around, and said, we've got 5 or 6 holes roughly laid out over here, and we've got one hole, which you'll know now is the signature hole, which is hole 7. Mm-hmm. We've kept that in there, and he was really proud of that one. And so my wife and I, Bonnie O'Neill, went down there and just had a look around, and we just started exploring the park, and we realized that if we just only put a beginner's 9-hole course in, we'd be shortchanging ourselves. It was definitely national level space, and so we just went with it and immediately said, no, it's got to be 18. We started fundraising with Rotary Club, went to some of the meetings in the morning. The Henley Trust, they're amazing people. They're sort of in their 70s now, most of them. Some of them are still in their 60s, so we definitely need new blood in there. But they were all on board because they just want people using the space. Yeah. What else can I tell you? It just went from there, really. Did a pop-up tournament where, as I'd already told you, and that was 3 years ago now.
and I thought it was maybe 20 people would show up, to test out the design, and a couple of other people. One of my colleagues, Kim Minnow, he also helped out as well. Alex, who I can't remember his last name, but Alex, who also designed Hikoikoi. He put Hikoikoi in. I can't remember his last name.
I do know Alex as well. I've played a few rounds.
In fact,
with him,
I
forget his surname as well.
But because he's a lefty, he came out and he gave me a few tips on actually you need to shift the T-pads just slightly over here, and then everyone can enjoy themselves, and equally. And it actually made it a little bit harder for the right-handers. And we just went from there. We got the design in. Found some money from other people. The Rotary were all in, and RPM gave us some good baskets, and away we went.
I feel like you've gone from it just within the story. You've gone from here to all the way up here in about 3-4 minutes of just chat. You sound like you've absolutely packed a whole lot of stuff into a pretty short time frame, and you've gone from not involved at all to just all the way in, up to the neck, in a matter of no time.
Morgan. It's honestly, I got given a disc golf disc, and so I had 2 discs, just before lockdown, and we, had maybe five discs. Honestly, I've probably got at least 300 now, and it's only been 3 years. It's insane.
It's good and bad, isn't it? Very good and very bad.
It's a good thing and a bad thing. I'm throwing every single one in the plate.
It's an investment. I just keep telling my wife, and it's an investment.
It's an investment in your long-term happiness and your cardiovascular health.
Definitely.
If you want to,
I don't know if it's a financial investment.
No,
it's definitely
not. Alex Britton, we're being told, is the is the chap. Yeah,
he's great.
Excellent. And then so you had Rapper Rumble last November, which was fantastic. You had quite a big field, but not as big as the field this weekend, eh?
Yeah, we ended up having 78, and it was restricted because I personally want to make sure everyone's having a good time. My day job pays the bills. I don't need to really push people in, even though you got to have 5 people cards. We need it, as is often the case. But I feel that if you're doing shotgun starts, you've only got 18 holes. You're kind of restricted to that mid-70s in my head. You can, and then you sort of even out the divisions, open up a few spots, and so that's how I'd say I kind of restricted the Rapper Rumble. Whereas with Disctopia by Disconnection, with those extra 9 baskets and 9 holes around the north end of the complex, it's could have 110 people, and you wouldn't even bump into each other really.
Wow,
fantastic! And so talk to us about this Disconnection partnership. Because people may not be familiar with Disconnection or know really what they do. Talk to us a little bit about how they're involved.
I will. I'm noticing the chat, and I'm seeing this random name Bonnie over here saying,
an investment.
I know who that is. Thanks, honey. Reese Velios at Disconnection. So I approached a few of the people who do sponsorship, but the interesting thing was with the philosophy of coming from different sports and wanting to make sure that the people who come to the tournaments that I and people that help, so we host. It's all about the players, and it was actually quite simple, really, because when I was looking for discs and looking for certain specific discs and looking for multiples of that, I found that when I used the Disconnection website, it was actually the easiest to navigate. It was the easiest for me to find exactly what discs I had. He converted he's actually got a web engine that converts it into the currency of your IP address. And so I'm just like, okay, it converted into Kiwi dollars, so I could actually directly compare it to others, and so it made it so that it just made it easier to shop for the discs that I needed. I only really started getting in touch with them because I suddenly went from playing right-handed for 20 plus years, throwing discs, to injuring my right arm. So I had to have, and then I started to throw left-handed, and that was very, very different. And none of my discs worked anymore. So I very quickly needed to just try one of everything. And Reese's website and his company Disc Connection just offered that. And what was really cool is that, he also tailored the packaging to get it to me quite easily at a discounted price. So it actually, worked out either exactly the same as anywhere else if I was to get it from America or Europe or here in New Zealand. And in some instances cheaper, like for Lunas, etc. So I just went from that.
Yes.
And then I realized that, he offers a good service. So when we're talking about branding and offering good service to people who are at the tournament, he was pretty good, and he was all on board.
Yeah, so Disconnection, I'm not 100% sure if we just brought that up, but Disconnection based out of Australia, right? By the looks of it, Perth, potentially?
Yeah, I found that out afterwards. Yeah, he's in Australia.
But yeah, their website, I'm just having a quick look at it right now. Really, really well laid out, nice and basic. And yeah, guys, go check it out, disconnection.com.au. It's that's a really good looking website.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff on there with a quick browse.
Yeah.
So they're involved, and they're involved with some of the player pack contributions.
Yeah. It's the amateur side of it, because he offers player packs which are really good, and that's the thing, is that he's, sometimes I'm unorganized like and he will just have all of one thing, and he's able to ship it at once, so there's no delays, which was really cool. And it's that sort of reciprocal thing, because if people check his website, then he knows that they'll probably come back because it's pretty user friendly. So the prize, instead of shipping over all the discs and people not, being like, okay, thanks, this is a great disc, but I can't throw it, we just give them vouchers, and they get to choose from his selection. Yeah.
Excellent. And so